This is going to be super exciting, right? The Lone Warrior, the Lone Ryu representative in the world, I feel like. And if you want to contest it, by all means, let me know. Let me know what your Ryu is about. But right now, Jimmy is the man of the hour with the Ryu. But the one who has the quote ready is actually Geeck-0. So let's take a look at what the Cammy stand, I will say, you know, he's got the Cammy Queen hashtag over and over again, and I appreciate that. He's a big fan of the character and big loyalty to this character and has found a lot of success. Let's take a look at what he had to say going into the top 8. I'm very sad I lost against Fossa. I made some bad decisions at the end. I don't really think you did, by the way. Just to let you know, Geeck-0, I'm going to stop you in the quote. I don't think you made any bad decisions. But I managed to get to the top 8 anyway. Let's focus on the next match. Jimmy, I know Ryu, but I haven't experienced I guess I haven't experienced with him. I have trust in my Cammy Queen. I'm going to rephrase that eventually, but that time's already passed, I feel like, so it doesn't matter. Either way, Geeck-0, not having too much experience with the matchup in with somebody who pilots the character like Jimmy, which I can totally get because not a lot of players pilot this character the way Jimmy does.
Yeah, and Jimmy backs that up. He says, Geeck-0 and I don't play so much, so I'm looking forward to it. So,
okay.
As opposed to last time when we saw two people who clearly know each other very well, this is going to be a little bit different in terms of testing the waters a little bit. Some of the decisions that you'd like to make that are like the real zany stuff, you're going to have to hold off until you know a little bit more.
Maybe,
but anyway,
yeah.
that's the common wisdom. Some people just go straight out and do it. It can be effective as well. We'll see what the reads are here between Jimmy and Geeck-0. Jimmy looking good so far. I mean, he's down here in loser's side, but in terms of the World Warriors, he's currently first in points in Germany.
Yeah. Really impressive play overall from both ends, right? Yeah. Both dominating their respective regions.
Geeck-0 second in points in the US.
Yeah. Ooh. Missing an opportunity for an early low forward is going to be pretty critical, right? I think pushing Jimmy to the corner or push anybody to the corner as Cammy is so pivotal to her strategy overall. And that's a big jump in, yeah. One too many fireballs against Jimmy. Getting the proper read and reaction. Geeck-0 now in control.
That kind of stuff makes sense for a Ryu at the beginning, though, of a 3 out of 5 match. You know, see what the opponent's willing to do versus fireballs.
If they have the reaction, sure. Yeah, you make those bets. Ooh, yeah, the low forward. Big damage.
That trigger, too. Ugh.
It's so cool.
It is cool.
Even if it's not, like, extending the combos, the fact that it's a parry that knocks down or, like, staggers is
It looks really good. Yeah. Geeck-0 has a
couple.
Oh! Okay, Jimmy busts through.
Everybody in the house felt that. That is for sure.
That was something I think was built upon him throwing those fireballs earlier, seeing what the opponent likes to do when they feel that they really need to get in.
Yeah, and that was unnecessary roughness. He still had trigger 2 left. I think if he had parried it, he would have been just fine conserving the meter, but he wanted to be flashy with it.
Mission accomplished.
Well played, sir.
Sometimes you're at the right spot on screen.
That should have been a big signal for Geeck-0 as well. Yeah, not in time to catch the fireball's recovery. In fact, it's an uppercut to the face instead.
Oh, man.
No,
you know,
no.
yeah, he has had some chances to get hit confirms. And we saw him getting that pretty consistently yesterday. Only the first game here, all right.
And Jimmy kind of teasing the idea of the fireball, but I do like that EX into the activation. I like that a lot more. We're going to see an activation route, possibly from Geeck-0 eventually. No, we're going to see a forward throw instead first. Ah, there it is. Yo, you countered it with a stand jab. You knew exactly when Geeck-0 was trying to come up with a frame trap.
Jimmy's at risk of getting chipped out, though. Never know. Well, it worked out. It worked out for Geeck-0.
Had V-Trigger 2 come out, you were dead. You were actually dead. It's a big risk from Geeck-0 yet again. Oh, you know that was a dive kick.
Yeah, twice so far in just this first game.
That's a little bit too high up. Jimmy's able to act first off of that stand jab. Oof.
Man, Jimmy's just defense on the way in, very, very strong.
Man, a slight stutter step gets the big opener off the crouching medium punch, and it leads to this exact sequence. How many medium punches are landing via counter hit? Geeck-0 no longer in stun, but still the uppercut is there. One more touch for Jimmy, and it's a throw. That's a lot of meter. Actually, doesn't even matter because that's game 1.
Yeah, that's Jimmy taking it. Again, very impressed by after he saw Geeck-0 jump in the first, third of round 1 over a fireball, and after that, he basically swept the skies. He seems like he got a pretty good read on the intended approach timings. He did get grabbed by one hooligan, but then he shut down the next one. So, you know, if you're a Geeck-0 here, you really got to think about how to vary up your approach timings. We saw him try to get through a fireball with Roundhouse. These confirms are huge. He did have some chances last game that he didn't take.
Again, damage off the table, or damage left on the table, excuse me. Again! These low forwards are absolutely critical. You're adding so much extra damage if you land them.
It is hard to do, but man, if you're in CPT top 8, it's something you got to make happen.
Agreed. The wind! Oh my god, hear my roar indeed. I rarely get to hear that line. That's so cool. Hear my roar. Oh, that's a giant jump in for Geeck-0. And the side switch as well. You saw the reversal. Geeck-0 blows it up, whatever it is. If it's not a metered EX, or sorry, a metered uppercut, it's not going to find success. It's fireball starting things off for Jimmy. Forward throw now after the dash up 2 times over. A slight delay, but Geeck-0 finds the button first, and now we get to layer in all of these normals. What happens though? The spinning axe, yeah, successfully blocked by Jimmy. Not going to be susceptible to that trick. Woo!
You got to jump sometimes. For Geeck-0, you can't give up on that angle of approach.
No, because then you're susceptible to the ground game, right?
Yeah.
You're eating a ton of plasma. You're falling right into Jimmy's plan, and I love that. Yeah, catching the recovery on the top seat. Yeah, forward throw.
Here's Jimmy.
Very common route too. EX fireball into trigger 2. Solar plexus.
Oh, huge shit! No, the buttons just happened to be at the wrong time. Really, it was Ryu. Crouching mini pick got there first. Oh, big chance on the whiff. No.
Oh, whiff punish that from Geeck-0. Solar plexus was there. How many times has he answered the call against the dive kick? Uppercut has found so much success in this matchup.
You can actually see him buffering forward just before that, too, as his character kind of dipped and dodged. This exact movement right here, that's him inputting potential DP. Yep.
You're absolutely right. But it's so difficult. Like, that could be fireball as well.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it doesn't need to be DP. But it's DP.
It is DP, yeah. More often than not, if you're within this range, like, you could still kind of like interrupt with stand medium kick. Possibly. Like, or at least show that option off, right? I don't think that option's been shown off too many times. Low medium kick has for sure, but then when it hits, there isn't a lot to behind it. So Jimmy hasn't feared it as much.
Right, those are all chances that could be into damage and Oki, but they just haven't been.
The activation mode off the block, crouching heavy punch. Geeck-0 can make something happen. There's a lot of great life. That is a big cash out, or a decent cash out, I should say, from the low medium kick.
Jimmy, just ready for everything, it seems. There, that's gonna do it, as the second game goes to Jimmy as well, up 2-0. Look, I don't think that Geeck-0 is far out of this. If, literally, the single change of if he were to hit confirm at a high rate would be a totally different story. Again, like, could I consistently do that? No, I find that tough. Many people find that tough. I don't want to make it seem like that's an easy thing to just, why don't you just hit confirm, just do the thing. It's tough. But, man, it would be very useful right now.
Yeah, just the circumstances you get off of it, right? Like, it's not even just about the damage. There we go! Yes, I love him exercising this option. Standing medium kick to stuff out the fireball attempts. It's like, if you can't cover it airborne, if you can't punish it airborne, yes, throw out some of these normals. It makes Jimmy reconsider. Then you get to start to layer in the jumps again. You get to reintroduce that option.
Yeah, here's Geeck-0. Really doing a good job with punishing. He had the hit confirm earlier.
Oh! I love the delay from Jimmy, opening up the low. Ooh, that's wrong. Send it back.
Hey, ooh, buddy.
That was game. It's still game. Okay. Ooh, I almost tore David's arm off. But yeah, I think, you know, Geeck-0, that was a very big instance where low forward could have sealed him the round earlier, and that, you know, reducing Jimmy's chances of survival.
I love that navigation. Not something we've often seen. So yeah, you're right. He's been sort of bringing in more of the tools. That was one, the medium kick. Yep, you see it again. He did have to hit confirm at least once. Not here though. So Jimmy now believes he has the read on Geeck-0's movement. You don't throw that many fireballs in a row if you don't feel like you're pretty sure you know what the opponent's gonna do.
Oh, that's huge. And I like that. Geeck-0 finding an opening off of the EX dive kick. Jimmy had actually committed to a solar plexus, and that's going to be the big game for Geeck-0. Finally on the board, slowing things down and dissecting. Remember, we've talked about this at the beginning of top 8. It is a different circumstance when it is 3 out of 5. You may get shut out 2-0, but once the information starts to get digested, you start to make those adjustments. It could be a whole different story. Again, that was a very big turnaround for Geeck-0, 2 rounds straight.
Very interesting battle between these two characters who have not qualified for Capcom Cup. That's right, Ryu is in exactly the same position with respect to Capcom Cup that Cammy is. Neither one has qualified yet.
The backdash read against the throw. Still puts Jimmy in a very awkward position. Having to fight out of the corner. Actually susceptible to that now. Everything going Geeck-0's way. The mental stack is now being applied against Jimmy. So many other things to consider. How many stand light kicks does she get? I thought it was going to be 3, but that was 4 straight up. I thought it was just 3 within range.
Ooh. Little +1 light for you.
I thought the pushback was so significant. And that's going to be, yeah, and I love that from Geeck-0. Just nice and easy. Another round on the board.
That's the strength of having the hit confirms. Not that that's how it started, but that just gives you Oki more often. And when he's able to find Oki as Cammy, you can have a lot of success, as we just saw. Huge jump.
Oh, man. Yep, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
You're going to do it again? Oh, you saw a delay! Geeck-0 catching all the buttons. This is going to be death.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What a game. That was a speed run of a game right there.
Is that 4 rounds straight now?
It's 4 rounds straight right now, yeah.
Geeck-0 making all the right adjustments. Also the correct reads against Jimmy, right? Yeah. Being able to block that EX uppercut, being able to delay the normals to catch the counter hit. It's all coming together, right? He's already dissected what Jimmy wants to do. Now it's up to Jimmy to really change things up. I think he's played on the back foot majority of this set, if I'm not mistaken, trying to throw out the fireballs. Let the fireballs do all the talking. I want to know what happens if he starts to become the person to move forward against Geeck-0. I throw out some of these medium punches as well. But he's standing his ground with a couple of fireballs. A lot more activity from the fireballs. He's not afraid of it.
Yeah, this is a range where it's pretty tough to jump on reaction for Geeck-0. Yeah, he's bulldogging in, which is a really important strategy, but it also means you're not really going to be jumping at that range.
Ooh, wow. You see that? The reluctancy to get the uppercut?
Yeah, previously, Jimmy would have nailed that down.
Fasa already eager to watch the results. He's getting in there. Ooh. A little bit more activity from the low forwards from Jimmy, checking the movement from Geeck-0, finds success there. Again, a ton of these fireballs have been doing all the talking.
Almost all his damage, in fact. Maybe all his damage has been fireballs? You want to catch a medium kick or something?
Ooh! So got hit by the universal. Solar plexus, not return anymore. The jump out, still gets checked. But that's not going to be a bad deal for Jimmy. Oh, except this corner.
He's got his own activation ready on EX, of course!
That's such a cool combo.
There's a range here where it's pretty unsafe to throw fireballs. Oh, boy.
Oh, and that was so subtle. I couldn't even tell that was a mix.
Alive.
But barely. 30 seconds on the clock.
Yes. That range right there is the perfect spot to throw a fireball, especially when you have V-Trigger 2 activated. Further than that, she can do things like EX drill under it. She could jump over it. That range right there, pretty tough to contend. Yeah, that's this is the spot.
Fireballs have been so effective just outside of the just within mid-range.
Oh, no!
You know that was a dive kick from Geeck-0, but either way, fortunately enough, still catches the recovery.
Jimmy looking better. The responses here from him looking strong. He's at match point. There's that forward movement that you were talking about wanting.
Ooh. That V-shift gets blown up. Geeck-0 absolutely ready for that defensive option. Crouching heavy punch into the activation. Uppercut. You already know. And the stun is there. Geeck-0 keeping it close. Ladies and gentlemen, the closest set we've had thus far. Down to the wire. Final game. Final round. It's Geeck-0 who's had the momentum going into it. But look at the meter down below. It was just about even before that explosion. Before the EX fireball had come out. Geeck-0 now in control, actually having the clear advantage. But the uppercut there from the missed dive kick. Input from Geeck-0.
I guess Jimmy was already ready anyway.
Correct.
Here it is. The dashing around by Jimmy actually cost him. He's cornered. He's stuck dashing. We've seen twice in this round so far. Big dashes. Ooh. Jimmy finds his way out. Dashing, but no, checked by Geeck-0. He was ready.
Top throw.
But look at all these resources on Geeck-0's side.
Oh, Jimmy can't throw a fireball at all anymore.
No. There's screen freeze into super to contend with on that. And so he's not.
Oh, you're punishing it!
Oh, Jimmy!
That was so smart from Geeck-0.
Jimmy, unfortunately for him, whether he was going for the hick in front and missed it, or whether it was just the buffer
Big
and Geeck-0 dashed or moved forward, blocked at the right moment to proc the EX. Either way, excellent play by Geeck-0, an unfortunate end there for MDZ Jimmy.
Ooh, nobody could have expected that outcome. I feel like it was dominant in both ends, right? Like Jimmy controlling the matchup pretty well, consistently. The fireball game on point, the uppercut game on point, very Ryu-esque up until the point where Geeck-0 was like, I gotta slow it down. I gotta add the mental stack first instead of just continuously jumping on this cat. And we see the amount of control right from Jimmy. We see the damage output, sure, that's fine and dandy, but what did the most talking, had the most effect was the fireball and uppercut game. The amount of control he had in neutral was phenomenal.
But as it went on, as you mentioned, Geeck-0 started adding more stuff. Thinking about the stand medium kick. I'm thinking about getting more hit confirms from crouching medium kick and crouching strong. Thinking about doing things like jump in early dive kick to get over fireballs. He started dashing forward at ranges where Ryu can't immediately press a button and getting his own button there a couple of times. Whiff punishing. It just it all opened up more and more for Geeck-0 as things moved on. And of course, at one point he had 4 rounds in a row. Then Jimmy took that first round of the final game. We'll see here. After that, back to Geeck-0's control. So yeah, as you mentioned, man, that was definitely the closest one we've had so far. Those 2 losers side matches in round 1 were both 3 games to 2, but this one, man, went right down to the end.